الناس بتنحرق قدامي والله ما حدا قدر يسوي إشي.
They picked this missile to cause this fire at this time of the night to kill people while they are sleeping.
The fire in the al-Balagh tents killed many people, which was a compound that previously served as Shuhada al-Aqsa Hospital, where many displaced people have settled in. Many were burnt alive. Everybody saw the videos as they have been spread on every single platform. But they are misleading you and even lying to you by removing and changing facts about what happened. Let's break it down. The picture that people like Gazan and Saleh are painting for you is the following. There was an IDF strike in the area of Deir al-Balagh. There was a fire that killed many people in the tents. Then they just make a connection line between these two. And that's it. That's a story. Simply told for social media, understandable to everyone. No more facts needed. From this arc, you can keep alive the narrative that the IDF is just bombing civilians indiscriminately. Then you can sprinkle in that the IDF chose to use incendiary bombs.
They picked this missile to cause this fire.
They chose a time where people were sleeping or any other emotional spice to empower this narrative. But the truth is that they took out a few more elements from the happenings of this night. The IDF recognized terrorist operations in the compound. Like, for example, the use of the compound as a place to prepare and plan attacks, store explosives, and munitions. We can confirm this from the videos filmed and uploaded by the Gazans in the compound, showing secondary explosions. Choosing which munition to use. The strike was from the air, made with a drone. The IDF doesn't use incendiary munitions in these cases because it will simply be ineffective to destroy explosives. In this case, a blast munition with shrapnel similar to the size and effect of a hand grenade was used. Although it does generate heat, it's not hot enough to set a fire. So, what caused the fire? The explosives and ammunition stored by the terrorists. Similar to when a suicide bomber is shot with a rifle, a bullet from a rifle is hot, but not hot enough to set a fire on the terrorist's clothing, unless it hits the explosive and then it sets a reaction causing an explosion. Then we had the airstrike itself. We now know what the target was and what came next. Terrorists were killed, explosives and ammunition exploded as a result, fire breaks out and spreads to the tents, and caused many people to die. Well, if this is the case, why would the IDF knowingly target terrorists that are set amongst displaced civilians in the first place? The international law answer would be, the law in armed conflict permits soldiers to carry out attacks against military objectives with the knowledge that civilians would be killed. Like, for example, in the ICRC Rule 7, the parties to the conflict must at all times distinguish between civilian objectives and military objectives, which Hamas has clearly violated. Attacks may only be directed against military objectives. By placing the terrorist operations, explosives, and ammunition in there, Hamas had made it a clear military objective. Or, for example, Protocol 1 to the Geneva Convention's Article 52. Military objectives are limited to those objects which by their nature, location, purpose, or use make an effective contribution to military action and whose total or partial destruction, capture, or neutralization in the circumstances ruling at the time offers a definite military advantage, which was clearly the objective in this case. Okay, but still many civilians died in horrible ways that can never be excused. You're right. But you're putting the blame on the wrong side. So the emotional, non-lawyer answer would be, placing yourself in between civilians should not be a tactic of war that is rewarded with immunity. Very simply, because it will give the legitimacy to keep on this unlawful tactic of war which purposely endangers those who you, as a governing body, are supposed to protect. Hamas is the ruling organization of these civilians. The Gazans voted on them. The Gazans have let them use this tactic as they please for 16 consecutive years. Very simply put, if you choose to carry out military attacks, shoot missiles and store explosives from inside displaced people's tents, you just became a military target. If you do not plan for and take no precaution to protect your civilians you just put in danger, it is on you what happens to them after Israel retaliates. You can choose to attack from far away from civilians, or at least let them evacuate to the tunnels. There are many solutions. You chose none. This is a result of the reality Hamas created for its people. Blaming this on Israel or painting it on any other way than a retaliatory precise attack on a terror-controlled center is a distortion of reality, which will just keep the ongoing living hell Hamas is creating in the ground. I'm Israel Chai.